Welcome to Danielle's Scraps. My name is Danielle and I'm glad that you're here. Make sure you hit subscribe, like, and that bell so you don't miss another tutorial. Welcome back. It's another inspiration collaboration design team video. Today we're working with dies that are more than what meets the eye. Let's get started. Today's paper is the Snowy Wonders, and I just kind of want to briefly go over these really cute Christmas winter themed papers. I love all of the colors that are incorporated in here, and I just love the scenes that are put on here. Plaids and some peaches and pinks, and I just think it's really beautiful. There is a die set and a stamp set. So the dies, there are 23 of them. Look how cute they are. They match so nicely with the stamps. And then there's a little twist to these dies though. So I'm going to bring the paper back in here because these dies coordinate with the paper. Right? So if you followed me from CTMH, then you know that this is new for us. Like, this is not something we're really used to. So check this out. These create a globe, like a snow globe, if you will. And they legit cut out the shapes from the paper as you see here. Isn't that cool? So I've got like this round one and then this taller cylinder-like one here. I was floored when I saw that, and it was like one of the first things that I had to pick up and buy. But that's not just it. So there are these snowflakes. Not only can you stamp them and then die cut them, but you can also marry them up with some of the patterns and on the other paper. So you have like this peachish snowflake and then this like mintish green snowflake where it cuts out kind of deal here. Of course, I know I'm not saying the proper colors, but I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of how cute that was that works. So if you've got a little bit of scraps left and you don't have time to stamp, this is perfect. So these ones you would just sort of fussy cut out. There's not a die that actually coordinates with those perfectly, so they're not too detail oriented that you can't fussy cut those ones out. Now for the penguins, it only cuts out 2 of them perfectly. So to be the one with this scarf and then the plain penguin with nothing on him. The other ones, their little arms, for lack of technical terms, don't stick out the exact same way, so therefore the die doesn't really line up correctly with them. Not really a deal breaker. You can get some cute things out of there. They also have this super cute little snowman that cuts out, I think, pretty much all of them except for maybe the one with the top hat. I thought maybe you might be able to get this house out of the one snow globe, but really you can't. Like, once I lined it up after looking at it quickly, you can't. Okay, here's the snowman coming in, and it lines up with all of them except for the ones with the top hat. And I just thought that was really cute. And I cut a few of these out, and you'll see that here in a minute. I guess maybe you could cut the top out too, because it does have a die for a top hat. And stamping, but I don't know if that's something that you would really want to do. I guess if you had scraps and you wanted to play around with it and you had time, you could. But anyways, look how freaking cute all of these are. I cannot believe it. Make sure that throughout the course of your viewing today that you go into the comment section in the description and go ahead and click on the links for the other design team members, because they too have used a different paper pack with dies that coordinate, and they're going to show you really cool ways to use all of them. Okay, let's cut these out. Ready? Magic of TV. Isn't that awesome? All right, so I've got my penguins in cut out here, so I cut 3 of them out. One of them is missing legs, and that's going to be okay. And then I cut out 2 snowmen here, and I also cut out 2 of the trees. Then all of my paper here is pre-cut to, these squares are all 3 by 3, so you have 2 of the white, you'll have 2 of the snowflake, 2 of the candy cane, and you'll have 3 of the house scenes. And then this photo mat is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, so that's where you'll put your 4 by 4 photo on if you were going to follow this design exactly how I did it. You'll want another piece of cardstock that's cut 10 by 10, and that should be coordinating. And then I used the white glitter paper. I thought it was really cool, and it kind of gave that shimmery, like snow, you know, when the sun shines down on the snow and it's all shimmery. Okay, so I'm going to center in this piece here. And it's 10 by 10, so you're going to look for like an inch on each side. Now, when I'm putting this down, I wanted to see if the dry adhesive would work well with the glitter, and my thought process was probably not going to work. And so I just wanted to try it and show you that when you use the dry adhesive on this, it's not going to stick to the glitter paper really well. So you definitely, if you're using this as a base, you're gonna need to use a wet adhesive. So I'm just gonna grab this Tombow glue out. I'm just gonna put it around the perimeter, get a little bit of that area on the inside there, and squeeze it on there. The glass mat's pretty slippery for me, so I put a little adhesive down on the bottom of my glass mat here in a second, just to kind of keep that glitter paper from moving around as I'm trying to center where I want it to go. See, you can see how I get a little frustrated. And so this is just going to help me line it up. Now when I'm putting down this 10 by 10 piece, I want about an inch perimeter all the way around that 10 by 10 cardstock here. I'm just eyeballing it. I mean, if you need to get your like ruler out and just precisely measure, by all means, you do you. I think that's amazing. I'm eyeballing it here because I'm okay with it being perfectly imperfect. So just sort of gauging that. Looks good. It might be a little to the left a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and start building up this really super cute layout. I'm going to just make sure that my page is secured and, you know, fashioned down there, brayered, if you will, with just my fingers there. You're going to put these in a little bit of a sequence here. So I'm going to do the top two corners are going to be the house scene. And remember, these are 3 by 3 blocks or squares, if you will. And so they're going to have about 1/4 of an inch. You're going to look for around the sides of this, so that's what is peeping through. That red is peeping through all of your squares. If you wanted them all to touch, you could do that. I would just cut your centerpiece down or cut an additional centerpiece, just so that you have a nice border here. Those candy canes are going to go in the middle right there, and then they're also going to go down in the bottom right corner. And so the reason why I kind of do it this way is so that I can have some guidance as I build up the rest of them, and they're not too far down and not too up. So then if I do mess up a little bit, I can center them to sort of offset maybe any visual impurities from not lining them up very well. So the center piece is going to be that snowy scenes of the houses there, and then these snowflakes will go on the end, and then I have some white here that will go and fill in those blanks there. I am really excited for you to see what the other design team members have done with their stamps and paper that they've gotten. I don't believe any of the other ones have done the Snowy Wonders. I believe I'm the only one, so I am really, really excited for you to see all of the other creations. It's so nice to have that inspiration of all the various artists out there. Okay, so now here's our base done, and this glitter paper is just gorgeous in person. Your photo mat is sort of going to be centered right there. I use the lower left hand corner of the 4 squares. You could do any 4 squares that you really wanted. Top left, top right, top left, bottom left, bottom right, whichever you wanted. And again, that's going to fit a 4 by 4 photo in there. All right, so here are my little penguins. Remember, I cut his feet off because that was just the end of the paper. No worries, because I'm going to tuck him in there. So let's do a little dry run right here. So I'm going to just tuck these behind, and then I'm going to put the one with the scarf in the middle up here. I'm looking for that visual triangle, and so I kind of talk about that often in here, and I like the visual triangle because it helps draw the attention across the whole page, and therefore I'm capturing all of the elements that I'm trying to use within my page here. I start with those trees over to the right, and I decide that I think the trees need to go on to the side of the photo map. I feel like those snowmen were overpowering themselves being over there, and I move those guys down, or gals, down to the right hand side there. All right, I'm pretty happy with the way this looks, so I'm going to go ahead and add in some adhesive here. I have this scrap dimensional piece from one of my card kits, and I'm just using the scraps of that to go ahead and add in on the backs of some of these elements that I want to pop up. So definitely want the penguin popped up, one of the trees, and one of the snowmen. And I really like these little dimensionals here because they're not too tall. I know sometimes when you get some of these, they're so tall that it kind of, even if you were sending a card or making a layout, it makes it so bulky. Or you get the kind that are so thin that you're like, I might as well just put it down with regular adhesive at this point. So I really like the dimensional. It's almost like that perfect little height that it has going on here. So he looks so cute popping in just there, up there. I did leave room at the bottom of where his feet are so that I can slide a picture in later. Some of my kids, I used to put them on my videos a lot in the pictures or whatever, and my oldest one has asked that I leave his picture off my videos when I'm doing my scrapbook layouts, and I'm like, no problem, bud. So I'll just add my photo in later, and that's okay. You get the idea and the concept of the layout without a photo. So there's that little tree popped up. It would be really cool if I would have been forward thinking and put a little bit of embellishing thread that I have left over on there. I think that would have really made it pop, especially behind those penguins. But I could go back and add it if I wanted to. And I'm going to come in and just add a little pop-up to this snowman and pop it in there. I really, really love the simplicity of this layout. It's super quick. It gets a good use of your papers in. And then I love how these dies coordinate with the paper. I'm able to get these stamped like images without having the need to stamp in 3 or 4 different colors, and it's really a breeze. I love quick and easy layouts and things of that nature, so this is just great. I'm going to put Let It Snow, and I'm going to stamp that in some black ink and condition my stamp here really quick, and pop that right down there by those trees. I chose black ink, even though there's espresso heavily influenced throughout these layouts. I chose the black ink because I really wanted it to pop. I really wanted my title, because it's so small, to just really stick out. So I'm just going to push that down, Let It Snow, and there is our layout. Isn't that cute? I love it. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed my little tutorial and my little take on using those dies for cutting out images from the coordinating paper. You guys have fun. Remember, stop by the rest of the design team. Make sure you're checking out their videos, and I will see you all on the next one on the 25th of this month. That's right, on Christmas we'll have another video. Until then, I'll see you soon. Bye everybody.